Hi. Okay, so I'm going to answer some questions about the solo 401k, which is a great savings plan, retirement plan, and tax planning tool. First question is, what is the solo 401k plan and how does it work? Solo 401k is a 401k plan meant for either independent contractors or business owners where you don't have any employees. So you can utilize it if you just have independent contractor, aka 1099 income, or if you actually have an S Corp as well and issue yourself some W-2 payroll at some point throughout the year. It really is not dissimilar from your regular 401k plan at a job, in which case, as the employee, your employer offers a 401k plan and you get to contribute up to a certain amount of money every year from your pay. And the employer also gets to choose if they want to also contribute to your plan via either a match or some kind of profit share. With the solo 401k, you're both the employee and the employer. So and you get to control both sides of that equation in terms of how much you take out of your quote unquote paycheck to put into the plan and how much as the employer you get to contribute to you as the employee's plan. The sum total of those contributions is very high in a given year. For 2024, if you're under 50, the sum total contribution is $69,000, which is a significant amount of money. If you're over 50 with the catch-up, you can get a max of $76,500. So if you're in a top income bracket and you're paying state and Fed combined 45% in tax, if you could get $70,000 into the plan, then you would get a 45% times $70,000, roughly $32,000 tax savings. Excuse me if my mental math is a little off, but that's a significant tax savings. So that's why I call it a great tax planning tool. How can you set up a solo 401k plan? There's a couple of ways. Traditional brokerages, I know Fidelity and Schwab offer kind of an all-in-one plan. It's pretty handy to do it with them because they do most of the paperwork and make it really easy to have the plan. I will admit that solo 401k plans come with a little bit more paperwork, similar to what companies have to do to have a 401k plan for their employees. The only downside of going with sort of out-of-the-box plan from Schwab or Fidelity or whomever else is that usually they limit it to the traditional side of the retirement account, traditional versus Roth, and also they don't allow you to take loans out of the plan usually. And finally, you're limited in your investment type to whatever the brokerage house can invest in, which is quite a lot, stocks, bonds, and so on. The other alternative is to do a self-directed solo 401k, which is what I have. I use a company called mysolo401k.net. The benefit of that is you can have both a traditional version of the 401k, a Roth version of the 401k. You can take loans out against the funds, which is another great tool. And you can invest in stocks, bonds, all that kind of stuff, but you could also invest in non-traditional assets like real estate or art or crypto or a variety of other things. So it can be very handy in that sense. The pros and cons of the 401k plan. I would say the pros are the contribution limits are very high. So as I said, they can be used as a great tax savings and tax planning tool. It's also great because you don't have to put money in it on any given year, so you can choose to use it or not use it. I would say the cons are that there is more paperwork involved than your average IRA, which has a far lower contribution limit. And both paperwork in the initial setup, but also on some annual paperwork that has to be done and annual filings that have to be done. So if you're not a paperwork person, that'll probably be a hurdle for you. And what are the best tips to maximizing the use of the 401k plan? Well, as I said, it is a tax planning tool. So depending on what your income is, what tax bracket you end up in, you can choose, you can throttle the amount that you put in there pretty easily and essentially maximize its use to whatever degree you want in a given year based on your income. So that's a general tip about the 401. Otherwise, I would say if you do the self-directed plan, you can both mix and match traditional and Roth contributions to further maximize your tax planning benefit. So I went with the self-directed plan for that reason, also because I wanted to invest in non-traditional assets, and I also wanted to be able to take the loan off the money at times, which I did like when I renovated my house. Only caveat about the loan is it's either a maximum of $50,000 or half of your total plan assets, and you have to pay the loan back within 5 years unless you are making a first-time home purchase, in which case you can pay the loan back on a 30-year amortization. So it's also a really great benefit if you're looking to buy a home, but you want the tax savings and to put something in a retirement account. You then can go borrow some of the money for a down payment and get a good amortization, which will help you on your debt-to-income ratio. Not debt-to-income ratio, your monthly outgoing expenses when they do your loan qualification. All right, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you very much. See you later.